All right, what is going on, Haunt Nation? I am yours, you are mine. We are what we are. Maybe. Um, this is going to be my second review of the night. Cheers, motherfuckers. For a better, but not much better haunt in Jackson, New Jersey. This haunt is Nightmare at Gravity Hill in Jackson, New Jersey. So again, another haunt that I've never been to. So I was excited. I'm always excited to go to a new place and check out some new shit. And this year I've been on fucking fire. You know, Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse, fucking phenomenal. Blood Prison, holy shit. Ohio, you are fucking on fire, Ohio. You are fucking on fire. You are amazing. Keep up the fucking good work. I won't move there because your fucking state blows. But man, you got some great fucking haunts. Anyhow, I know I'm going to get some hate for that one, but what are you going to do? Anyhow, so yes, this is my review for the 2024 season, of course, because that's where we are, and we are fast approaching Halloween, so probably not going to get too many more reviews, maybe one more review before we are completely done with the season, and that makes me sad. Although, you know, there are still escape rooms and plenty of fucking movies. I still have to see Terrifier 3. I fucking hate myself that it's been a couple weeks and I still haven't seen it. I'm so mad at myself, but work and life and things of that nature, so you know how that is. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you're unemployed and you have no life and no work. But I'm gonna assume that you do. Anyway, so yes, Nightmare at Gravity Hill in Jackson, New Jersey. So it's a little out of the way, which is fine. I like out of the way. It looks like it was probably made on some kind of a nursery, you know, like not baby nursery, like plant nursery. Near the end, I did see what looked to be a lot of big greenhouses that were, you know, like not really put together that well. Like they were either closed down for the season or not used anymore. Anyhow, I have no fucking idea how much that place actually cost me. But you know what? I'm going to do a quick search on interwebs. Isn't that good for something where it's like talk and you just have somebody mumbling because they have a cigar in their mouth? You know? So unprofessional. But that's fine. Nightmare at Gravity Hill. So general admission is $35 and their fast pass is $50. It is, I believe it was cash only. I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember. I don't remember using my card. Let's see. Apparently they had t-shirts, but I didn't see them. They say they have refreshments, and I did see those. They do tend to close sometimes because of inclement weather, because it is an all-outdoor haunt. And it looks like they're only open really Friday, Saturday, with one Sunday in October that they were open. Anyhow, this is why I don't get to some places, because Friday, Saturday, you know, if you give me Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I can get to more places. Otherwise, I have to make a schedule. Anyhow, so got online, bought my ticket. Not a problem. I don't think they offer any tickets that you can buy online. We can double check that. Oh, look, some douchebag's trying to impress me with his motorcycle. Oh my God, I'm getting so horny. Oh, you are such a man. I really hope it's a motorcycle, not just some shitbox car. Yeah, it's a shitty motorcycle that's backfiring. Anyway. Fucking clown, because it's a dead end. It's a dead end, it's a cul-de-sac. So, just a fucking Momo. Alright, back to the haunt. So, got online, bought my ticket. They have porta potties on site, and they do have parking, and parking was free. So, right there, fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Line wasn't too long when I got there, got my ticket. They do have a refreshment stand that's right around where the entrance to the haunt is. Looked like they had hot chocolate, maybe some other things. Didn't look like they had a whole lot. I'm not going to say what I want to say, because then I'll get myself in trouble. Potentially. Although it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if he crashed. Um, anyway, where was I? Back. Let me get off the. Come on. Why did I do that? I just fucked myself. Not in a good way either. All right. Let's look for my notes. There we go. All right. They had two places that you could take pictures, which were both on the line. There was like a zombie thing and there was a werewolf thing right next to it. I put pictures up on the Instagram page so you can see them, but they're basically at the front of the line. So if you're going to take a picture, you might have people get in front of you online. So be forewarned. They also had a very big video screen with little snippets of horror movies running and music videos like Eminem and Marilyn Manson and whatever. But it was something. It was something to do or listen to while you were online, unlike the other haunt, Scream Mountain, which had absolutely nothing to do but stare at nothing. So, at least that's something. The queue took a while, but that is because their pacing was pretty decent. So this is an all-outdoor haunt, reminiscent of the way Six Flags does their haunts, where it's, you'll have a lot of outdoor stuff, and it's, you may have walls, but it'll be open to the sky above you. Other place also does that, like Pure Terror Scream Park. A lot of their haunt is the same kind of thing. It is one long haunt with lots of different sections, not one continuous theme throughout, lots of different themes, but is kind of cool. So they don't advertise anything being separate either. They had actors, they had animatronics, and the costuming was pretty good from what I remember. I mean, it wasn't Spirit Halloween, it wasn't great prosthetics, but the costuming was appropriate, But back to the timing and spacing. So I was there alone, and the woman had a group of 2 in front of me, and she put me with the group of 2. But she was only bringing people in more or less with their group. She hung me on them because I was a single. I don't think she was putting groups of more than 4 in, like, together, that don't, you know what I mean, like 2 groups of 2. I didn't think she was doing that. And that's a good thing, because the timing was all right. Now, what was bad for me is the people that I went in with really wanted to walk through this thing fucking fast. They have good timing. They have a sound that they say when you hear the sound, that's when you can walk in. And the sound goes off when you reach a certain point at the haunt, which again is cool. Not as cool if you're walking fast, because that sound will go off sooner. If you're walking slower, it'll go off later. But if you get a mix of slow people in the front and fast people behind them, which we had, that is a bad mix. Anyhow, moving on. Their sets ranged from absolutely terrible to pretty cool. They did, again, a thing that I don't like. They did a lot of draping with like tarps. So you'd have a 6-foot poles with tarps connecting them, and again, for me, that is very home hauntish, right? There were other sections that had walls instead of the tarps, but a lot of the walls were even it literally like pulled off construction sites in Manhattan, because they had Post No Bills painted on them. They had the little plastic windows you can look through, which I did look through, thinking, oh, maybe there was a haunt scene behind it. No, it's just a wall, and I could see a different part of the haunt, and it's just a wall that nobody ever bothered to paint or paint over. So that part of it kind of sucked, right? However, there were actors spaced throughout, not too many through these areas that used those tarps, right? The tarps, in my opinion, were just a way to make the haunt longer and waste your time, because you'd walk around and then you'd go back around this way, and then you'd go back around that way, and then you'd go back around this way until you came out and there was another scene. And there were some decent scenes. There was like a mental hospital, there was a movie theater, there was like a junkyard kind of thing going on. Like there was a, when you first start, there's like this old, what looks like almost like an old Wild West town and a church. So there were some really good scenes, and all of the costuming was appropriate for the scenes. But in between the scenes, we had that very amateurish, just what I would call like a tarp queue almost. Like you could just queue people up to each individual section, have them go through, and then have them go to the next section. And it would take them a lot less time to get through. But, so, I mean, for me, that was a bit of a disappointment. I will say, though, that they did have a good mix of animatronics and actors, both. And the actors in that particular haunt, were all into it. They were all into it. They were working. They were really working for it. And kudos to them, because I absolutely appreciated that. That was my favorite part of the haunt, was probably the actors and actresses. They were doing a good job. They were trying to sell it. They were working it. Generally speaking, it's a decent haunt. I'm not really hating on it. I just see a lot of room for improvement, especially with the tarps and walls not being painted. And they're wasting a lot of space with just walking through things. You're not walking through a scene. You're not walking through a graveyard. You're walking through fucking bathroom with shower curtains. Basically, you know what I mean? It's just, oh, look, tarps. And I make a left turn. Oh, look, more tarps. And, oh, all right, an actor was actually here. That popped out. Really cool. And then I'm going back in the tarps. And then I'm turning around again. And I'm walking through more tarps. And like, oh, cool. Now I'm out at like a scene. So that really was probably my least favorite thing about it. I see a lot of potential, but a lot of wasted space. And that is completely within the haunt's control to fix or to work on. And Nightmare at Gravity Hill's been around for a while. I don't know how long, but I know I've heard of them for at least a few years. Because it's been on like, oh, we've got to try to get out there list. What would I change? I would work on the scenes. I mean, I would work on getting rid of those tarps and poles and putting up actual walls, and maybe doing something with the wall. Make it some kind of a haunted hallway. Make it something that transitions out of the section and into the new section, rather than just a way you can't see clear through, and then you just have to walk back and forth through. Again, according to their website, they have merchandise, but I did not see any. But I was not looking. I had somewhere else I had to be that night. Not that I was rushing through the haunt. I was not. I actually tried to go to another haunt, which was a home haunt, after that night. But unfortunately, the home haunt was not open. They closed early, and I got there too late. So I missed it. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to get there either before the end of the season. So anyhow, like I said, best thing about it is the actors and actresses were great, and it was a good length. It really was a good length, and I enjoyed the length of the haunt. I really did. I was surprised at how long it was. I thought it was going to be a lot shorter, especially when I started hitting the tarps. But decent, not great. Better than Six Flags, and a lot cheaper than Six Flags, 100%. But, it is what it is. Anywho, so I'm going to give Nightmare at Gravity Hill in Jackson, New Jersey, a 6 out of 10. A 6 because it's a little better than average, but it certainly is not great. But they could be. They could be a lot better. Hopefully whoever runs it has the passion, has the real passion for it, and they do better. Anyhow. Made you watch 2 puffs of a cigar to say, that's all for me. That's all for this review. Hopefully I'll get another review or 2 out before the end of the season, or at the end of the season. But for tonight, that is going to be it. I'm Ant. This is Haunt Nation, and I'll catch you next time.